Hello, good day, and welcome to my channel. Today I want to start the series for my journey through violin, and today's episode is going to be about how I got started. So when I was about 4 years old, I believe, I asked my parents about violin and said I wanted to play. I'm not sure exactly what got me into violin specifically. My parents both play music, and we always had music on around the house, but nobody else in the family played violin. I may have just seen somebody on TV who was playing it or something, I'm not quite sure, but I asked my parents about it. I was 4 years old, so, I could have changed my mind in a week. So they kept asking me if I really wanted to, and I said I did. They took me to a church that had lessons. We watched one class. It was a beginner class. And after the class, they asked me, are you sure? Do you still want to play? And I said yes. So my mom bought me a 1/8 size violin. And I do not remember exactly how much it cost, but I know it was really cheap. She did not spend a lot of money on this at all. From there, we started going to those classes. It was group lessons. I was there for maybe 4 lessons. I learned how to hold the bow, what the different parts were, the string names, and I learned how to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. That was it. That was all I learned. And I practiced on that little violin. Actually, I'm gonna go get it so you can see. So this is it. This is the case. The case is actually still in decent condition. Let's open this. I believe I don't even have the bow anymore. Yeah, the bow's gone. This is it. It's missing the G string and the tuning peg for the G string. The fine tuners are all still there, actually, surprisingly, but it's not in tune at all. And it would be very difficult to tune it because, as you can see, the bridge is also gone. And the chin rest. I had the chin rest at some point. I don't know what happened to it, but yeah, you can still see the tape that I had on there to learn the finger position. So I don't think I'm ever going to get rid of this, but it's definitely falling apart. So this was my first violin. Oh my goodness, this is tiny. Wow, I was small when I started. So that was my first violin, and once I outgrew it, which did not take long, my mom did not want to spend the money to get me like the next size up. She wanted to wait until I was just big enough for a full size. So that meant there was a large gap of time when I was too big for this one and not big enough for a full size yet. So I had no practice in that time. I believe I got my first full size when I was about 10. So I used that one for a bit. We actually traded it for drum parts. My brother plays drums, and we had an acoustic set, and the guy was willing to because he wanted to try drums. So we just gave him some drum parts, and he gave us the violin. So we actually didn't spend any money on it, which was great. I played that one for a while, but for multiple reasons, I didn't practice as much as I should have. Part of that being I was young and I was not in lessons for a lot of that time. And so getting myself to pick it up and practice, I was 10-ish. I was around that age. So remembering as a 10-year-old when you don't have lessons to pick it up and practice is very difficult. For a little bit of that time, we were at a homeschool co-op that had lessons. And one semester, there were actually some older kids there, and I learned to play a couple fiddle songs. That was the second semester, and it was just a couple weeks over the summer. But the semester before that, there were a lot of young children there who were beginners, and obviously I was nowhere near being an expert at that point, but these were young children. These were, 4 and 5-year-olds who were just learning. So I didn't learn much in that first semester because I was helping the teacher show the other kids how to hold the bow and things like that. So I was more of an assistant than a student in the class. and I didn't learn all that much. But the second semester, I did learn a couple songs. After we stopped going to the co-op, I was completely on my own again, and between the ages of 10 and 15, 16, I did not practice as much as I should have. I know that I could be way better now if I had just practiced, but with mental health and, you know, a lot of other things going on in general, so this is, I guess, where I am now with everything. I'm just gonna play a little bit of something. I'm not really confident in my bow hold, to be honest. Wow, my bow hold changed in the middle of playing. And I slowed down significantly when I got to the later parts because I'm not used to playing that fast. That's definitely something I need to work on. I also need to work on my left hand and bow hand coordination. If I try to do like scales really fast, it gets off and it just doesn't sound good. My pitch accuracy, I feel like there's a word for that, and I'm drawing a blank, but my pitch accuracy is not the best, but I always know when I'm off. So if I just keep practicing, eventually I'll know when I'm off and I'll be able to correct it, and then hopefully muscle memory will kick in. But if I go faster, things start to get off. I feel like my bow hold is gonna change halfway through. I don't know if you can hear that, but the coordination is not right, and it just sounds off. I think I'm moving my fingers too fast. I'm moving my fingers too fast, and yeah, so that's definitely something that I need to work on, which is part of the issue that I have with playing fast. That and the pitch accuracy are the two things. I can actually, if I hold everything properly and relax and everything, I can do second and third finger vibrato. I can't do pinky at all, and I can sometimes do first finger, but it's pretty, like, my hand gets stiff whenever I try to do first finger. I'm not really sure how that happens, but if I'm not holding things properly, or if I let myself get worn out, eventually I can't do vibrato at all. That's another thing that I do a lot. If I'm playing in C, for instance, instead of doing on the D string, going to the F, I just naturally go to the F sharp and then just messes it up. So that's where I am now with my violin playing. So I do play mostly by ear. I've always played by ear. I do have perfect pitch as well. I'm really thankful for it because that helps me to tell when I'm off in the moment. But I want to learn how to read music. I can read a little bit, but very slowly and nothing complicated at all. But one of my friends gave me her old notebook that has a whole bunch of music in it. Classical music, there's bluegrass music, and it's just a whole book full of sheet music. And I would like to actually learn how to read music. I've struggled with it in the past because I've always played by ear. So if it's a song or a piece that I've heard before, usually I hear the first few notes and know what key it's in, and I just automatically can figure out the rest of it without having to read the music. So then I just ignore the music. So yeah, that doesn't help because I have two other books. I have this one, which it's got like old fiddle music and stuff in it. The cover came off, so I have no idea who wrote this or anything like that. But it's got sheet music in it. I've looked at this a few times, and the thing is, I don't know if it's just because I don't know how to read music. It's probably because I don't know how to read music. But some of it seems off to me. I don't know why. It's probably because I can't read music. But I think I tried to follow along and play Red River Valley, and it didn't sound... Maybe I heard a weird version of Red River Valley, but it didn't sound like the version I had heard, and I was confused. But... So either I heard a weird version or I'm just really that bad at reading music and I wasn't reading it right. But I also have this Strictly Strings book. I've had this for a while, and I took a couple classes at the homeschool co-op for music theory, which is where I learned the very basics. So like I know what a quarter note is, I know what, a half note, a whole note. I know how to tell which pitch it is, or what note it is, rather, when it's on the staff, actually. But I haven't gotten good. So, like, I know that you can't really see that, can you? Oh, you can't see it. I know that that's an A. But if it's, like, I don't know what that is, because I haven't memorized, like, below the regular staff. But an example of what I mean, this book has the Japanese song... Cherry Blossoms in it. I'm not sure where it is, but I was gonna follow along. I was gonna try to read that and play it, and I heard the first note and was like, oh, I can figure this out without the music. It wasn't a conscious decision. It was more of just, I already know how to play this. I play the first note, that tells me what key it's in, and I know how to play it already. So I kind of went away from the music, and so my new tactic going into learning how to read music is to deliberately pick things that I have not heard before and try to play them. Then I will look them up later and listen to the song or piece that I've picked and see what it's supposed to sound like. Hopefully that will help, but then again, at that point, I've heard it already and it's going to be hard to try and, read the music. And I'm not really sure when I'll use the music reading skill, but I think might as well learn how to do it. It'll give me something to do, and if at some point later I do need to know how to read music, then I will know how to do it and I won't have to worry. So I will be going through, in the next journal updates that I post, I will be going through these 3 books and trying to find things to play. I'll try to find, again, songs and pieces that I have not heard before, and hopefully that will help me learn how to read music. But I think that's going to be all for this video. Don't forget to stay hydrated, and I hope you have a blessed day or night wherever you are in the world. Goodbye.